A very good evening to all the participants and listeners today, and welcome to this webinar series where we will be deep diving into the topic Sensei Secrets. And I'm very happy to introduce to you all Jyoti Mani, who is a very active participant and collaborator with LXD Guild. And yes, definitely, I don't have to introduce myself. And if you do not know me still, so this is Sandeep, and I'm the founder of LXD Guild community, a community of practice for all the learning professionals, especially in India. So let us all welcome Jyoti Mani Nimma.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good evening. I don't know if people have joined from a different country, it's a morning. Otherwise, also, it's a good evening. Uh, Sandeep, just in case if anybody has any questions, any thoughts, ideas, you can just post it to me. And thank you for moderating this today. I know you're a founder, but then you still play that role of a moderator for this session. This is wonderful, and I'm open for any questions that comes up from you, either from you or the group. But whosoever is there online joining this LinkedIn Live, a warm welcome to you all. And that reminds me of something. I had a leader of mine who would come to my table every afternoon, and then he would say, "Good morning." Said, like, it was weird back then, 10, 12 years back. Like, it's in continuation with what I'm saying. He used to come and say good morning every afternoon. Then he taught me a lesson saying, you know what, for the first time when we see a person, we'll say good morning because we're seeing them for the first time. It's not a rule though, but I think it's a good gesture. And second thing I learned from my leader, one of other leader, is she was waiting for a meeting for me and other group to come in and join the meeting. Then she started saying we were late by 5 minutes or so. Then she said, um, we said, we are sorry. Then she said, no, that's okay. It's not, I was not waiting for you all, but pleasure is all mine, which means that good gesture when you miss on some things. So I'm happy to wait. Like, that's something that we learn over a period of time when we work with people around us. So that's a good start for us today. Again, I'll say good morning because I'm seeing you all for the first time, or maybe I'll hear you for the first time, or maybe I'll get some comments from you for the first time. Only face I see on the screen is Sandeep, and it's a familiar face, but then he will play, he will for sure make sure that everybody's voice is heard, everybody's comment will come to him and they'll come to me. And for today's topic, Sandeep, thank you so much. If you can start sharing the screen, I have something interesting on the first couple of slides and more interesting in the further slides. So the Sensei Secrets, again, I got inspired from one of my leaders in early stage of my career. All my career, I am into L&D, and then a little bit about me. I have 14 years of work experience into the L&D world, in playing all the roles, I would say, except for the owner of the L&D organization for now. But then I got an opportunity to play a role in operations, strategy, and learning analytics, and more than anything else played that important role as an advocate for the customers to be able to achieve what they expect for their customer delight, and also for the business to have that positive impact. So this Sensei term comes from the meaning of this term is a teacher, and I think we all somewhere in our life we play that role of a teacher. Now we are professionally teachers, I would call, and teachers hold a very, very honorable position in the society. So let's dive deep today into some secrets of a teacher that will help the teacher to be a more, I would say, better teacher and make others' life the best. See, every day when we get better, we get an opportunity to make them best. So let's dive deep. And Sandeep, if you can move to the next slide. I think I can also move it, right, Sandeep? So a broader topic that we are going to, broader yet a bigger topic, I would say, it's an ocean when we talk about strategy. Strategy itself is an ocean, and specifically we are going to talk in the next I think we will do in the next 30 to 35 minutes. We will dive deep into L&D strategy and organizational strategy, followed by what is the role of an L&D professional. Where does an L&D professional fit into the organization? And last few minutes, we will leave for a Q&A, and Sandeep will get those questions from you all. And then I'll try to answer as much as possible. Otherwise, I'll learn and come back to you. Does that sound good?
We can, yeah, go ahead. And looking forward to the great learnings and the takeaways which you are going to share with us.
Thank you, Sandeep. And I would say learning is a journey for sure. This is something that really inspired me to put it up on the screen rather than writing who am I, where did I come from, how much of baggage, or I would say big bag of experience that I carry. But in my 14 years of work experience, I could land up to say to someone else, to a group of people, welcoming them to a realm of growth and knowledge, because the world has grown so much today, especially after COVID. Everything has changed. It has changed upside down in terms of the way we look at life, the way we look at work, the way we work, and the future of work has come into our midst now. 2 3 years back, we used to talk about the future of work. The future of work is different now. The current state of work is the future of work that we spoke about a couple of years back. And I think it's full of growth and knowledge, especially with the AI. Wherever you tap in the system, whichever site you open, somewhere it will pop up saying AI, AI, AI. For sure, AI is ruling. I wouldn't say no, but I think somewhere AI cannot live without human beings. AI needs human beings support, which is the cognitive knowledge and the wisdom of a human being and the growth mindset that would enable AI to do what we want it to do for us. So let's all now dive deep into the growth, discovery, knowledge, and nothing else but the learning. Now you'll navigate with me, and we'll all have a roller coaster ride in the water, because learning is ocean. It will take you to next level. Let's all learn about it together. And the objectives. There are many. When we look at the L&D strategy, when we look at the organizational strategy, when we look at the role of an NLP professional, there's a lot to talk. But for today, for this discussion, and I'm sure we'll keep on meeting again and again in future. But for this discussion, we will talk about what is the alignment, how does the alignment of an L&D strategy with an organizational strategy would look like, and then see where do we fit as an L&D professional into the organization. So it's like, it's a layer of onion. It's an onion. When you have organization, you have L&D strategy, you become, when you are there, it completes the strategy. And I would proudly say, without learning, nobody can do anything. Without learning, nobody can take a further step. We see that in our personal lives too. Right from our birth, we need some support. We need some help for us to take those baby steps, then walk properly, then grow, then progress, and you take others also in the same steps. So let's all get into the actual core subject. And then whenever you have a question, please post it to Sandeep, and he'll come back to me with the questions from the group. Again, the same thing, a repetition of what I have said just now, the strategy of L&D and organization strategy and L&D professional. Sandeep, if you can move to the next slide, that would be wonderful. Okay, I like that slide, Sandeep, the previous one. If you can, okay. If you see that, there's a lot of thought behind it. If I can ask anybody to put your thoughts on the comment section, what do you experience the moment you see this one? We'll put up a minute's time.
Yes.
And then,
yeah,
we'll put up a minute's time.
We can just wait for the participants to share their thoughts in the comment section, and then I can present that to Jyoti, because she will not be able to see them live.
Yep. Thank you, Sandeep.
So could you repeat that question, Jyoti, once again for the
sure.
Benefit of audience?
Yeah. Sure. It's simple. the first thought you get in on your mind the moment you see this picture, because human brain is very intelligent. Everybody might have a different thought. Whatever thoughts come to your mind, I know I have put it as let's dive deep, but what you experience the moment you see this one, you can just put it up there. Sandeep, you're doing a time check, right?
Yes, I'm just checking. If I'm also looking at the comment section, if anything comes up, then I'll share it.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, so we have Samyukta who says
Mm-hmm.
handheld navigation.
That's good.
Thank you, Samyukta.
And yeah. Anything else? Okay. I think we are good with one, because one
Okay,
is also enough for us
let's
to go
proceed.
ahead. Yes. So thanks, Samyukta, for that
Thank you.
one. Handheld navigation. Very honestly, Samyukta, when I put it up, this one, I didn't get this thought. But human brain is very innovative, very thoughtful. Everybody has a different thought. That's why innovation comes only from human beings, and the technology would support it, isn't it? Okay, so handheld, and what the thought behind putting this picture is, now when you're diving deep, you don't know where to go. You have a hand which is supporting you for sure, but you have to have those resources for you to understand what you're doing. If you see there, the people are wearing oxygen masks. People are wearing, I think they're carrying oxygen cylinders, and I think they have something else also. So this is the help when you are getting deeper into the subject. When you're being in the organization, you be in such a way in the organization, some as a new hire, or maybe taking up a new role within the same organization. You might feel that you're going deep, but you need some support. See, this snorkeling one, I think somebody must be an instructor there, and the people are doing snorkeling. So, this picture represents the organization that we are looking at. And when they do this snorkeling, and I'm sure this person, the instructor, might have a strategy for him to take people to experience the snorkeling, and then they come with a great satisfaction when they come out of the water. So now let's understand these three concepts, how they are knitted together: the organization, the L&D, and the L&D professionals. The first one being the L&D strategy. So why does it matter to have a L&D team supporting the business? Anybody can post the comments, just one line. Why does it matter to have an L&D team? Or first of all, why do we need a learning when we get into an organization? We'll take 30 seconds if you have to hear something from anybody.
Yes, waiting for the comments.
Sure. Okay, anything has come up, Sandeep?
I don't see anything coming up. Or is it like, okay, so would you like to repeat the question and then maybe we'll give like 10 to 15 seconds?
Sure. So why do we need L&D in an organization? Which means why does L&D matters in an organization if it matters?
Yes. So, audience, anybody who wants to just throw some thought on that? Why does an organization need a learning and development strategy or team, whatever?
Okay. If they don't have anything,
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
fine. You
I
can.
don't see. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Please go
No
ahead,
problem.
Gati.
So I would define it as a precondition that every organization, let's focus on the word precondition here. I would
Yes.
define it
Sorry.
as yeah, a
We have
preconditioned.
one.
Uh-huh,
We have one thought from Samyukta again to align
uh-huh.
with organization goals and values.
That's good. That's good, Samyukta. Thank you so much. So, yes, you need some support. We are talking about the strategy, why, which means why do have the L&D has to focus to align with the organizational goals. But let's take one step behind. Why do we need an L&D? So here we need a L&D or learning and development department or L&D support for any organization. I would see it as a preconditioned environment where people will come, they will learn, and they will start executing, or and they will start delivering the results that are expected. Say, for example, as we were seeing the picture, dive deep. Nobody will dive deep to do a snorkeling if they're not equipped with the skills and the techniques and the tools that are required to do a snorkeling. If you see that picture there, a person who doesn't even know to swim can do a snorkeling. This is a eye opener for many. If they don't know, even if you don't know swimming, you can still do snorkeling, because they will teach you how to do the snorkeling. They will tell you what tools you got to use. They will tell you the tips and tricks. They will tell you the safety measures. So when customer, or when a tourist would want to do a snorkeling, there is a support there, and they will achieve it with somebody's support. So this L&D is a preconditioned environment in an organization that will make you feel that you're a part of the organization and you have come here with a purpose, and for the purpose to be fulfilled, or for you to achieve those results or to deliver those results, you have the help for you to do that. So if you see many organizations, like bigger organizations, I would say Microsoft or Facebook, or if you see Amazon, and I've been associated with Deloitte, ServiceNow, Amazon in the past. Their learning is a culture. Like in any other country, you have your own cultural beliefs, you have your own cultural system within which you dwell, which means you live in it comfortably to be able to lead your life. Same way, in bigger organizations, the L&D is considered, or the learning is considered as a culture in which people from different cultures would come in there to perform, to deliver results, to make an impact in the organization. Not just that, but then you grow along with the organization. So that is very important for any organization to have an L&D department who would handhold people to learn, to perform, to excel, and to grow. So this is the reason it's very important to have an L&D, because I will tell you why I'm stressing so much about why do we have to have an L&D is, in my past organization, I like to tell an analogy and I like to share my experiences, because I had lots of experiences when I was working. I had a statement from one of the employees saying, hey, you know what? Your team does those cartoons. Like, I think if you were online, maybe you would have laughed at me, or maybe you would have astonished.
Yes, we can relate that very much. Yeah, it is more like, yeah, in few organizations, maybe the term is beautification. Yeah.
That still sounds good, Sandeep, but when I heard, my heart throbbed when they said, you make cartoons. See, it's not easy to make cartoons too. It's a difficult task, because it involves a lot of technology, lot of thought process, you coding and all. But L&D is perceived as just a element in an organization by the employees in such a way that they think that, okay, we'll have to complete this one just like that, because they asked us to complete, we are completing. But now if you see this, I think Gen Z, people who are born after 2000, I think Gen Z, there are baby bloomers, there are Gen X and Gen Y or something, now Gen Z, wherein they say people who are born after 2000, now people are looking learning in a different perspective. Oh yeah, you're feeling bad about it, Sandeep. So now people are looking learning in a different perspective, at least in this generation. And I think we being the experienced folks, when you put up a strategies, like, we'll talk about what strategy exactly means, but when you put up an L&D strategy, you got to understand the mindset of the generations. So as an L&D professional, it's at most important for us to understand and gauge what is the generational gap. It's not about the age number or so, but the society where it is going. Now, if you see from last 2-3 years, after COVID, everybody likes to work virtual. Everybody likes to learn in quick, simple, bite-sized learning. If you see YouTube Shorts, it has become a big hit because nobody has that mindset to sit for 45 minutes or 1 hour. But I'm sure people will listen for the next 15-20 minutes, at least for now. But this is the reality wherein people don't want to learn for longer hours. They want something shorter, quick, bite size, meaningful, just in time, apt to the situation. So when we talk about L&D strategy, how do we put? See, not everybody on this line might be leaders who are putting up the strategies, but you go ahead and talk to your leaders and ask them, where is it in tying back to the organizational strategy? So now let's talk a little bit about like what exactly an organizational strategy means, because in an organizational strategy, it is a comprehensive plan of action designed to achieve specific goals or objectives for that particular year. And it's not just a design, but it also outlines the direction and the scope of the organization. This is the second part. And the direction is there. It outlines the guidelines. It gives you the direction of the scope of the organizational's growth and where it wants to go in the next 1, 2, or 3 years. And also it will talk about what you should be doing as an organizational professional employee in the organization. So we come into the picture wherein you will deliver what is expected from an organization in terms of, say, for example, you have learning requests coming from your senior managers. You have learning requests coming from your business teams. You have learning requests coming from your product teams. You have learning requests coming from IT teams. You have learning requests coming from the corporate teams. You have learning requests coming from the maintenance teams, maybe. So you have different departments in the organization. Why do you think they come up to you for a learning request, or why do you go to them saying that we will be able to give you some learning interventions? This is all because overarching organization needs to achieve something. For that reason, the L&D strategy should be focusing and aligning, as Samyukta was telling in the beginning. L&D strategy should focus on three things, I would say, which I really like, which is, I would call it as a top, which is your technology, your operations, and your people. So organization will look at, with these three elements, how we will be able to achieve the goals. But they want to achieve something as an organization, but how do we do that? The aid comes from the L&D team, because somebody comes into the organization, they need to understand the current technology in the organization and the current processes, current operational activities, the structure of the organization, and also the people around them, whether they are their peers, their leaders, their bosses, their managers. So L&D will enable all these three elements in an organization: the technology, operations, and people. It will not just enable them to perform their day-to-day activities, but it will empower them to enhance on what they are working on, and it will also help them to grow as an individual, because organizations will grow when people grow. If you all accept, give a thumbs up to Sandeep if you are following me, or you can ask any questions so that I can wait for a moment and then talk about it in detail. If you all agree, saying
Yes, yes,
organizations
we
will,
I get to see.
if when you have this L&D strategy aligned with the organization strategy, the journey will go hand in hand. I will talk about one real-time example that I had in my experience. So we received a request from one of the teams, from one of the quality teams, saying we want training because our people are not performing. That's a blank statement. Saying, I wouldn't say blank, but just a one liner saying, we want training because our people are not performing. So one more activity to the group here. If some other department person hears the statement, what would they say? They would say, I'll give you the answer. They would say saying, yeah, we need a training for sure. They will say, yes, we need a training. And there is an IT department, they will say, hey, yeah, we need a training. And here comes the HR department saying, yes, we need a training. But there is one department, which is the L&D department. What would they say if they come to you, and we're all from the L&D department, I would say, and say, we want a training because our people are not performing? If you can just put it on the comment section in a minute's time, what do you think? What will be your immediate reaction?
issue or something. Okay. Okay. Again, yeah, we have Samyukta who shares no
Mhm.
with query and clarification.
Wonderful, wonderful. That gives a great segue for us to talk about the first thing an L&D professional should be doing when you get a request. So, in the next sessions, maybe we'll talk about how a request would flow into the L&D team, like what is the intake process and all. What are the things that we have to consider? But the moment you see the request, it's not always required to say yes. I would say it's not required to say yes immediately, because there is something called, if you can go to my slide, I think 7, Sandeep, if you can go to slide 7, 8, 8, I guess. Okay, slide 11. If you see, yes, the first thing comes up there is the needs analysis. So again, tying back to the strategy, when you start putting up the strategy as an L&D professional or a leader in the L&D team, you would see the first requirement is, what does the organization need? What is the need of the organization, and what is the goal of the organization? So need evolves from the goal. What is the goal for that year? The strategic goal, the business goal. You have this business goal, and then see, not necessarily when you have a business goal, you will say, I'll create a learning. But for this business goal, if there's already any learning existing, then you'll reuse it instead of reinventing the wheel entirely. Because if now the world is moving so fast, they want things simple, quick. And I think that's the reason AI is also living so much now, because it makes things easy, faster. It cut down so much of time, and any day human brain is more powerful than AI. So when you see that there is a need, you see in the strategy, you put it up in the L&D strategy, saying that we will provide a training for the quality team, new team members this year, because so many people are coming in and there is a new business that has come. So the requirement comes because there are no new hires joining, or the requirement comes when there's a new business, requirement comes when there are enhancements, requirement comes when there's a market change, requirements comes when there is a defect, or when there are issues going on wherein the team is not performing as expected. Requirements come in for a succession plan, for cross training. So these are the various ways the requirements will come in. So the needs analysis will help you to understand where the requirement is coming from. And then the second step would be, in the needs analysis, if you already have something in place, which we call it as organizational assets. If you have assets in place, you will reuse them, and you'll reuse in such a way that you customize them. So your needs analysis is the bigger topic to discuss. And when you excel in the needs analysis section, rest all the things will fall into place automatically, because you know the purpose, you know the targeted purpose and the focus, which you got to remember, understand, comprehend, and accordingly develop a solution. So, as an L&D professional, the first thing you do is, see, for your needs analysis to be performed perfectly, you need to understand out of the box. You need to understand various things. What changed? What changed? If it is a cultural difference, if it is a market strategy that has changed, or some internal environment has changed, or if it is anything to do with the financial crisis. See, you might be an instructional designer, or you might be a content designer, you might be a content developer, you might be a media developer or designer. But if you understand the purpose towards which you're working, all the questions would come up. If you see so many, if you refer to so many books, you'll see what are the questions that need to be asked when you do a needs analysis. How did they derive them? Because they have the curiosity to understand and dive deep into the problem. And once the problem is like when you dive deep and understand, it might not be a training problem at all. Like going back to the same quality team, when they come up and say, hey, you know what, we want a training because our employees are not performing. It might not be a skill issue at all. It could be a will issue totally. Or it could be the environment has changed. In case if learning can jump in and try to see if that environment can be enhanced or customized according to the learner, yes, we will do it. Otherwise, it could be something else. So when they say, my team is not performing, is it all? Or is it only one or two? Or is it 50%? Like, that needs, when you nail down the needs analysis, then you will definitely see that it's easy for you to design your strategy, to design your training, and also to develop. So maybe in the further sessions, we will go ahead and dive deep into each of the topic as to what all the things you will have to remember as an L&D professional. Sandeep, if you can go back once again to the same slide.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. No, maybe there is a lag. So now this needs analysis, again, where do you get the baseline for this needs analysis? You see your strategy. When we dive deep into the elements of the strategy, the first thing would be there, the need, the purpose of the existence of the L&D team, in which there are different programs, initiatives that would be run to achieve the goals of the organizations. I'll give you one simple example. Now, you're bringing in or you have acquired a new team and there's an acquisition. So there are two companies. The acquisition would take in phases. So when they come into your organization, as a organization's lead, what would a CEO expect from that new lot of people coming into the organization? Will they come in and they start doing work as they were doing in the previous organization, or will they have something that they have to learn in the current organization and unlearn some things that they have learned in the past organization? Because when there's a merger, when there's an acquisition, it's a phase by phase, it happens phase by phase, wherein they have to unlearn things. They have to unlearn the old things and they have to start learning the new things. So the strategy is, it shouldn't impact the operations, it shouldn't impact the productivity, but you'll have to bring people to the speed to be able to work according to current organizations, core values, systems, processes, tools, and people. So this needs analysis will play an important role. So when you see in the strategy, you will see in your L&D strategy, you will see, hey, you know what, this year, when you see the forecast of the business, that's very important to see the priorities of the business. When you see the forecast of the business, this year, in next year, we are expected to get a new business. There's a new merger happening. There's a new acquisition coming in. So can we still have the same strategy? See, strategy always evolves. It always evolves. In the previous company where I was working, there was a product launch for every 6 months. So the L&D strategy, we had to tweak. We had to make adjustments in such a way that it caters to the needs of the new product launch. So strategy should be flexible enough to be able to be changed. I'm not saying the core would change, but I can give you one example. If you have to do a classroom training, but there is a time crunch, then probably you'll have to switch quickly to a blended learning, wherein what you will do is you will pick up the prerequisites as the existing trainings or the previous classroom trainings. You'll take those recordings and give it to the learners. They will do their homework and they come back and sit in a classroom. So this becomes a self-learning and also a classroom training. So when I say the strategy needs to be changed, maybe in the modality, maybe in the time that is taken for a strategy to be implemented, we can't stick to the same thing. So we'll have to be agile, we'll have to be flexible, we will have to be quick on the toes when we put up a strategy. So you'll have to put a placeholder in your strategy saying, given the current conditions, this is a strategy that we have. And if something changes, we are quick to change. So that is called the agility. So this all will come when you start interacting with your leadership, when you start interacting with the peers, and when you understand the business at a bigger perspective. Now, nobody will stop you in the organization if you're trying to dive deep and understand the business. Maybe sometimes what you see from you, the first question that I've asked, what do you see, what do you understand the moment you see that snorkeling picture? Very honestly, as Samyukta said, hand holding, that was not in my thought. But that's a valid point, right? So, in this strategy, the important part is the communication also. So you receive the strategy as an L&D professional for you to execute on it. But when you don't understand, when you don't take the time and understand what does the strategy means to me as a professional, and how will I add value to the organization, when they say we want to become the world or best in class or best in world, best in class customer service provider as a L&D professional, when you look at that goal for the organization, we want to become the best in class customer service provider. For you, the thought should run as an L&D professional. Okay, this is an organizational goal. And I see in my L&D strategy also from my leader saying, we want to develop trainings which are delivered seamlessly and continuously. So you have to think, okay, this is a customer service goal that the organization is talking about. And L&D strategy says that we want to continuously deliver the trainings seamlessly. So continuously, seamlessly. When you hear these things, which means you're contributing, your L&D team, your leadership, your strategy is contributing to the organizational goal. But what is your work? Continuously and seamlessly. And there could be a third element called quality. So continuously means you have to design and develop and deliver your work, task, or product. It could be an e-learning, or it could be a video learning, or it could be a micro learning. Continuously means there is a time crunch. So always there should be a there should be a supply of the learnings continuously. When we say seamlessly, technology should be absolutely fine. You saw me just now in a moment, like, a couple of minutes back, I had some technical issues. So this is one of a situation, but every time when you have to deliver seamlessly, then you need to understand this is something to the quality of the design more than design development that I've done, quality of the learning management system of the LXP. And when we talk about the quality, I heard from somebody yesterday saying they shouldn't be using the word nice in their organization. The word nice. The word nice is nice, isn't it? It's not bad. But the rationale the organization has given is when we say, hey, this is nice, that stops the thought process. Like, you will not think anything beyond nice. Now, the world is expecting you to think out of the box. When you say nice, you're limiting your thought and you're compromising with the situation saying, hey, it's nice. So now the quality, coming back to quality, why I'm saying about this is the choice of the words you use. And in my experience, I had some hard experiences too. One of the team members, I said, I can use this person to develop some module. Oh, like the person took it to heart. I did not understand why is he saying when I used a word, I can use this person. Then the person felt I'm not a commodity to be used. A learning for me is I can use this resource for a module development, or I can put XYZ person, or I can bring in the expert talent, or I can bring in this person into this project for me to deliver this module. So your quality means the choice of the words. Thankfully, in instructional designing, in our learning world, we have something called Bloom's taxonomy, which will always guide you. And also we have some Microsoft Writing Standards Guide, Cisco Standards Guide. So what I'm trying to say is strategy is not just a plan. It's not just a way forward, but it's the life of an L&D professional, I would call it as. So strategy is something that you have to stick to as a L&D professional. I think for today's discussion, we'll only talk about the needs analysis little more for a few more minutes. And then after that, we will do each and everything going forward as a series. And also, I think Sandeep will be communicating to you all how to dive deep into the L&D world. He's an experienced L&D professional. And we work together. We know what we, what value we can bring. I can, we both, or maybe we can bring in more people to demystify, deconstruct each element of the L&D so that when you sleep, when you wake up in your sleep, when you're dreaming, also you'll talk about it. Because so much of experience that we bring to the platform here. So now, again, going back to the strategy, organizational strategy, L&D strategy, and you are the core of it. The vice versa of it, organizational strategy, L&D strategy, you are the circle of the organization. When you don't feel that you are the source of empowerment, enablement, and the growth of the organization, you yourselves, if you don't believe that, it's very hard for you to make others believe that you add value. Many organizations call L&D as a cost center, but I will call it as a profit center. So, again, going back to one of my experiences, when I had given an interview and I was speaking to one of the leaders, the statement she made was, our products are premium. No, the first statement was, our services are premium because we serve the premium products. So, as an L&D professional, your service is premium. So, when you want to make it premium, you got to learn. When you learn how to learn, it's easy for you to teach to others how to learn. So the strategy, you give me time, I'll talk for maybe 5 days about strategy, how it goes, but we will
Yes,
dive.
yes, definitely. Yeah, I know our participants are definitely interested, and yeah, looking for more on what you can share and
Yeah.
the vast knowledge you have.
Yeah, but before we close, I want to talk about something about this is, I think, food for thought. You guys can go research in Google and you can learn about it. So there is a person called Peter Sensei. He is one of the renowned organizational development professional leader. And then he wrote a book called The Five Disciplines. So that will talk about four concepts. As an L&D professional, the first thing is shared value. The second thing is personal mastery. And the third one is the team learning. So these three things will fall into place, and the systems thinking. So I'll quickly try to connect those dots as to what are these four concepts called. So when you enter the organization, if you don't know the purpose for which you're working, and thankfully all the organizations has a purpose, except for few, which is really sad about it, but every organization has a vision and a mission. And when you get into the organization, on when you're working, if you're not doing that so far, that's fine, but you start thinking in that direction now. When you understand the context of the organization, the purpose of the organization, the values of the organization, the core competencies, the vision and the mission. So if you understand that value, the shared vision, if anybody on the online, if they don't know the vision of your organization, go talk to your leaders and understand what is the vision of your organization. This is a takeaway that you can take and then do your homework. Once you understand this shared vision, and there could be somebody in your team who don't know about this one, start talking about. The more you talk, see, it is out. If it is out of sight, it's out of your mind. If it is on your mind, on your mouth, the more you talk about it, the more you dwell into it, the more you understand the purpose of you being in the organization. That is the first step for you to grow. See, doesn't mean it's just a monetary benefits or a promotion, but when you're growing with your skills, automatically things will fall into place. But it'll take some time for sure. So understand the shared vision of the organization. The second step is systems thinking. We will dive deep into it a little later. Systems thinking means you see the connections between the systems. Say, for example, if you have a workday product through which you're accessing your compensation, your leave balance and everything, the same workday can be used for your L&D. as a learning management system. And there could be a Microsoft project that you use for your project management. There could be a Jira tool that you're using. There could be something. There could be an IT team which is supporting you to do your work better on your laptop with your passwords, with your user accounts, everything. So sit and understand the systems and the connections between the system. This is what Peter Sensei says in his book of 5 disciplines, wherein if you understand the systems, it will be easy for you to drive, deliver a meaningful learning intervention, a meaningful e-learning, or a meaningful video learning that really supports a system or really supports the organization. So understand the vision, understand the systems, and then you will master. That's like, you will become a personal master of yourselves. That's called the personal mastery. Then comes, after you achieve your personal mastery or you're on a journey of your personal mastery, it's your duty to handhold, as we saw in the picture, dive deep, handhold someone else also, then you will achieve the team learning. What happens when the team is growing? Team grows, your L&D organization grows. Your even before team, individual grows. The personal mastery is your individual. Second is your team mastery. Once your team is mastering, your organization will start growing, or your business unit called L&D. Your department will grow. When your department grows, your organization grows, the company grows, which is a growth for you. But this is not just like, happens overnight. Lot of dedication, commitment, and a heart and a soul and a passion to learn and also help others to learn will take you there. So for today, I think we had lots of talking. I had lots of talking because I'm assuming that you guys are responding and then reacting. But one day I'll talk to you directly, then we'll have more interactions. But for today, I think I'll close it here. And then any questions, any discussion, I'm open for a couple of more questions in the next 2-3 minutes. Then we can wrap it up and we'll see you in
Yes.
many sessions more.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Jyoti, for wonderful insights, what you have brought on how the organizational learning helps, and especially the vision, right? That is a shared goal. It is not like only the leaders would carry it with them, but rather, I think it is, what is it? It is mutual, don't you think?
That's true.
So, until
That's
unless
true.
the business leader wants to share the vision of their organization or the business unit to their teams, I don't think the team also can go ahead and get into that and try to achieve that as a what to say as a collaborative effort, right? So that is
Yes.
something I think it should be playing on both the sides. The business leaders or the organizations open up and share what is their vision, and even the team work towards achieving that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think even in my past organization, so when during the all hands, so suddenly there were like huge decks, as it always happens, and then somebody
Yeah.
asked, so what is the vision? And
Just a follow-up comment,
everybody
like,
was blank.
I know, I understand. I totally understand. I'm a big fan of putting up things in front of everybody so that they see and they learn from it. See, I'll tell you, I think everybody is a leader in ourselves out there in the group, whosoever is the leader leading the team, at least online who is there. I urge you to go share the vision in case you haven't yet, but I congratulate you in case you've already done that. And the second group who are being the individual contributors or you're being on like not the leader, I think we are leaders in ourselves. We should take that ownership now that we know that it's very important to understand the vision of the organization. Search in your intranet site, see. Curiosity will make us to grow and grow. In case you don't find it, again, you can go back to your leaders and ask, but asking also very smartly. I mean, when I say very smartly, your soft skills will come into picture there. Like, with a reason, with a purpose, you're asking. You can't go and say, you know what, you didn't tell me the vision. It's just like, that shows up that you're open to learn, that you're curious to learn.
Yes,
Learning is a starting step for growth. But thank you so much
true.
because you're refreshing some memories that we had in the past. But as we are
Definitely, we
growing,
will have another session so that we
yeah,
can go ahead and have a little more like a workshop if it works. Yes. And yeah, I think in the interest of time, we have another 5 more minutes. So I just would like to give this time to our listeners or the participants here. Do you have any questions or any queries concerning, yeah, the topic of the day today? Please leave your comments in the post. Yeah, please feel free to go ahead and post your queries or questions to hello@lxdeagle.com, and you can visit our website www.lxdeagle.com for any further questions, and you can contact us. We'll always be happy to collaborate and work towards helping in whatever you are looking for as part of learning and development community. Yes, so I think yeah, it is already getting late here, as it is. Yeah, I know the traffic around in the city is buzzing around, and all of the folks trying to reach back to their destinations. So thank you very
Yes.
much, Jyoti, for this wonderful takeaways, and thank you very much, participants, for all the
Yeah.
time which you spared today.
Do not forget the
Go ahead.
homework. Take that ownership, understand the vision of your organization, and work with a purpose which will make you to feel that you're valued in the organization. You'll enjoy your work, and do reach out to us, and then we are there to support you all. And let's all learn together, because learning never ends. There is always a scope for all of us to learn together, and this community is going to rock, and it's going to open up so many opportunities for many people who are still waiting for so many opportunities. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of talent. We'll all work it out together.
Yes,
Have a great
thank you very
evening
much,
and
Jyoti.
a wonderful dinner and tight sleep. Have a great evening, rest of the
Yes.
evening.
And as Jyoti has already given you a task, so please feel free to go ahead and find the vision of your business unit or your organization and post it in the comment section. So this webinar will be live, and it will be available to you in your LinkedIn post. So please use that comment section, and let's see how many are able to materialize this request from Jyoti. Thank you very much to everybody. Thank you for wonderful time, and I know it was a wonderful session of learning. Thank you. Until next
Thank
time.
you.
Have a good day,
Yeah,
all.
bye bye.